going on the corner, taking in revenue, building on the corner, grabbing my space, who's going to Daytona, fly around the corner like Ronald McDonald, calling my mama, call me your bone, ripping that bird like the number one stunner, no longer deserve shit. I'm in the bird, you know, too long, she kept me real with that shit, now she gone, I bought her Gucci, she bought me a job, I don't get sex, bring me the phone, doing my best in the booth, yeah, you get your rent, you get your job, something ain't busy, I don't think we are,
by supporting the participants and officials in positive manner. Profane and other abusive comments or actions not be tolerated, considered grounds for removal from the event. If you need to report an issue or require assistance during today's game, please scan the QR code throughout the venue or visit teldex.com. Again, if you'd like to report an issue or require assistance, visit teldex.com during the game. The Oregon Athletic Department and Order of the Old Varsity Letter Winners Club proud to recognize standouts in Oregon gridiron history. Here with us today, four-year letter winner, played for the Ducks from 2005 to 9. His favorite memories of Duck was the Ducks comeback in Arizona in 2009. California native went on to play in the NFL for 10 years, winning the Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens. Please welcome back former Duck Ed Dixon. Also here today, four-year letter winner, played receiver from 2006 rushing touchdown record. Jeremiah went on to play in the NFL CFL for 10 years before returning coach here at Willamette High School. Welcome back, Captain Jeremiah Johnson. Thanks to our honorary captains. They'll be joining the team for the coin toss. Welcome back to your home here at Upson.
Now taking the field for their first Big Ten performance, the Oregon Marching Band. And playing the song quickly moving on to the goals, Mighty Oregon. And now, as we set the stage for our national anthem, we invite you to sing along to America the Beautiful, conducted today by Dr. Jay Silver.
Now, fans, we now ask that you join us as we honor America and those serving here and abroad with the playing of our national anthem, conducted tonight by Dr. Eric Wilshire. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. And good evening, football fans. Welcome back to Hudson Stadium for the Big Ten Conference matchup between Michigan State Spartans and your Oregon Ducks. So Don Essig, your stadium announcer for tonight's game, which is being brought to you by 2004 Charter Partners, Weimar, Carl's Jr., Country Financial, Bigfoot Beverages, McDonald's, OCCU, and Toyota. What a beautiful night for football after this morning. 61 degrees, no wind, and our Michigan State guests need to know it never rains in Hudson Stadium. Down to the field, tonight's MC, welcome Icky.
Hello, Hudson Stadium. I am your BMC Icky. Happy to be here. Happy to see you back in Hudson Stadium. And tonight's a special one because you may have seen the Oregon Ducks wearing their hero uniforms, and it was designed by the Lanning family. Sophia created the ribbon logo right there, and also the three boys, Hayden, Niles, and Titan, created the idea that had used all of the colors representing all cancers. Also created the bell logo symbolizing the victory, and also the ice cream cone symbolizing hope. Now all of these are available at the Duck store, including this concession cup while supplies last. And don't forget, Duck fans, anytime the defense gets a turnover, you win, because anytime they force that turnover, you're going to get a famous Star Burger from Carl's Jr. with the Carl's Jr. takeaway.
It's time to get ready for the Coming Home Light Show presented by OCCU. Open the Go Ducks Game Day app. Click the More icon and then click Duck Lights by OCCU. Enable microphone access and camera access. You know you'll be ready when you're waiting to sing. Join the Coming Home Light Show when prompted at the end of the first quarter.
So just recently, my dad went down and cancer on my kidney. It was stage 4, so and we shredded. Everybody shredded. So 20-hour flight, came back, spent some time with him. He was basically telling me this like, it might be the last time I ever see him. So it's like, I'm back here and I'm glad I'll never see him again. And then he was going to come over here.
I remember she told me in May that she got diagnosed with breast cancer. We were talking home. I just started crying. I had her going for chemo. She sent me a picture. She cut her hair off. I just feel like me every time I saw her, like pictures of her, I used to be emotional, things like that. And I kind of feel like mentally, that kind of destroyed me a lot. Thankfully, she's cancer free now. She texted me that, and I probably made my whole year. And I appreciate the support.
For years, the locals have been making this walk in the Willamette River Valley, but a couple things are different tonight. Number one, it's a Friday night. Number two, they're Big Ten fans now. The first ever home Big Ten game for the University of Oregon, and Dan Lanning's team, number 6 in the country, unbeaten. They typically don't lose here, and they haven't lost this year because they have a quarterback who's making his 54th start at the FBS level. Dylan Gabriel and the Ducks facing a familiar foe. Getting off the bus once again, Jonathan Smith in different colors after his Oregon State time, beating Oregon in a huge game 2 years ago in Corvallis. Oregon and Michigan State tonight. It never rains in Autzen Stadium, but it is always, always loud. One of the beautiful atmospheres in all of college football as the Ducks at home on a Friday night. And the energy is just a little bit different. Only game in town. The Oregon Ducks. Here they come. Never try to talk over a duck on a bike. Jason Benetti, Brock Ewert, Allison Williams downstairs. This team was a little bit hazy the first 2 weeks. Close ones with Idaho and Boise State, but Oregon's been a machine the last couple games, Brock.
Yeah, they've gotten to know themselves. And I think the quarterback goes a long way. You mentioned Dylan Gabriel. I've always felt like in the pros, you stick around a long time, not because of just what you do, but you also know what you're not. And I think for Dylan Gabriel, he knows exactly what to do and who he is. He is a time on target and on time passer. He gets the ball out of his hand as quickly as anybody in America, but he does it as accurately as anybody playing the position. He knows who he is, Jason. He doesn't try to do too much, and he loves elevating everybody around him, which is exactly what he's done the last couple weeks.
81%.
It's ridiculous.
81%. Yes. Nobody does anything 81%.
I couldn't even talk 81% in the open.
That's Michigan State, you know, it's a team that could really be 4-1. Close loss against Boston College, but Jonathan Smith, in his time at Oregon State, knows Oregon very well.
He's got that good old institutional knowledge. And being on the field, I was like, oh, man, look at all this Big Ten. It's all Big Ten. I'm sure Jonathan's like, Big Ten? I know these Ducks. I faced them my whole life as a player. Now I'm facing them again as a coach. But he does know them. He knows their scheme. He knows their personnel. And he does know how to beat them. And it means keeping the ball away from all the speed and athleticism that Dan Lanning's assembled on the other side.
That's what he did 2 years ago in Corvallis, a game that Ducks fans remember very well that kept him on a possibly big things 2 years ago. Kickoff, Allison Williams in a moment here in Eugene. Welcome back to Fox College Football, sponsored by KFC. It's finger licking good. Told you Oregon's been better the last couple of games. Part of that is a revamped offensive line, Allison Williams.
Yeah, JB, we hear it all the time. It all starts up front. Oregon knows that, and they know they had to find the right combination on their offensive line. It seems they have. They have not allowed a sack in the last 2 games after giving up 7 in the first 2. And a big reason why, literally, is the move of Pancho Laloolu from guard to center. Offensive coordinator Will Stein said it has made them bigger and more physical in the middle and allowing them to play the way they need to in this Big Ten Conference. Head coach Dan Lanning said he has seen those 5 guys come together and create a rhythm. And scheme-wise, they have been in a better position to allow for that and to have success protecting the quarterback and running the football.
They've been dynamic
and violent. And that's dominant.
This crowd's ready to go. Friday night football in Eugene, Oregon. Through the end zone it goes. He is 37-16 as a starter in college football. Dillon Gabriel as accurate as anybody other than Jared Goff.
He's just intentional as well. You'll see it with his feet. You'll see it with his eyes and his decision making. He's got such a plan that comes with being 5 years as a starter. And it's one thing to have all of that experience, but it's another thing to bring it to life on game day, and he does.
How does he do that? What are we watching
Yeah,
tonight?
just the poise, and just, again, the ball is out of his hands so quickly.
Terrence Ferguson, the tight end, who's been outstanding once again in motion there. Gabriel to throw on the first play. It's a shot down the middle of the field. Tez Johnson. It is incomplete. Malik Spencer was back there waving his finger on the coverage. No penalty marker out.
This was something they worked on all week long. You open a game with a shot, and there's just enough little contact there to distract him. Ooh. Little surprise. You can see the back judge. He is looking right at him. Typically, when you grab that arm and you impede a receiver's ability, the flag comes.
Penalties have been an issue for Michigan State. That time, Jordan James with about a yard. Nakai Martinez, the UCF transfer, with the stop, 3rd and long for the Oregon Ducks. Here's this offensive line, and they've been great.
Yeah, and as Allison reported on, just continuity the last couple weeks, playing their best football. They are going to be faced here with a difficult 3rd and long. Tez Johnson, not a surprise to see the shot in the first play of the game, but so much speed on that receiving corps.
Johnson in motion, wide of the formation. Gabriel looking that direction. He was hit by Spencer, and the ball came out. Let's see what they say. It's incomplete. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, this is what UCLA did not do much of last week, and I was a little surprised, frankly. Bring unique pressures. And when you get to 3rd and 7, well, this is what Boise did. This is what Idaho did. Right? They lined up in unique and different looks, and they brought defenders from different spots. And Gabriel, ooh, that's pretty close. The arm is going forward with control. That is an incomplete pass, but that is a big 3 and out for this Spartan crew.
Well, they won the toss. They deferred, so they'll get the ball out of halftime as Ross James, who's only punted 12 times all year, gets this one off to Montori Foster Jr. and off the fair catch. Aiden Childs is just 19 years old. He turned 19 a couple of weeks ago. He was on the sideline when Oregon State was here at the end of last season. The turnovers have been the major issue, Brian.
Yeah, his ceiling is incredibly high. His highlight reel is phenomenal this season. The problem is the lowlights. It is the 8 interceptions. It's the 2 fumbles. It's 4 games, Jason, where he's had 2 or more in those games. Take care of the ball and minimize the mistakes.
Michigan State as a team tied for the 2nd most turnovers at the FBS level. They run a lot of stretch plays, and Nate Carter goes down. That's Bryce Betcher, the baseball star, shooting through and a loss of 2.
Did he ever? Oh, man.
Look out. Here is the offense for Michigan State. Tanner Miller, the interior, has been pretty good for them.
It is their strength, and he's one of the Oregon State Beavers that came out to East Lansing with this staff. Super solid in the middle. Nice to have a security blanket in Belling. He and Childs were teammates, and really nice to have the explosive Nick Marsh at receiver back.
He and Glover both have been dinged up this year. They're both in the lineup today. Childs over the middle. That is inaccurate for Foster, and it's 3rd down and 12. And this is where Tosh Lupoy and this defense can really get creative. You talk about guys, you know, Derek Harmon, the Michigan State transfer.
Yeah, he'd been there. In fact, even in spring, transferred this summer out to Eugene. Devin Jackson, the Jet, can absolutely fly. And Jabbar Muhammad, the transfer from Washington, has had a spectacular season, hardly tested. But this is where the funk comes, and you can hear it. The fans know it. 3rd and 10 plus. Good luck.
It's Velling split out of the backfield. Childs. 3rd and 12. His throw to the sideline is juggled and caught by Glover. That's a 1st down, Michigan State, Jaron Glover.
And that's a big boy throw. That is an NFL combine throw. The deep 10 to 14-yard out. And look at the strength in the fingertips. Ooh. It's close, but I think I see ball security there. Glover 4 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. I think he gathers just in the nick of time. Defenses say, hey, if you can make that throw, that's the most difficult throw on the field. Good luck on 3rd and 10. They deliver.
Play action. Childs, really clean pocket. He'll drop it off, and he's got Carter out of the backfield. He's swung down on a big hit by Tatum Tuioti on a gain of 6.
And this is a little bit of what Childs did a week ago. You would never guess it when the final outcome of Ohio State in the second half was brutal, but he was very efficient. 10 to 13, a touchdown in the first half, distributed with poise and patience. An awfully big 3rd and 12 conversion goes a long way for a young quarterback on the road.
For this very proud Michigan State program, it's Carter, and he is doused. Jamari Caldwell, the senior out of South Carolina, 3rd down.
That's a big man that is moving right in the middle of it. Some 339 pounds and defeats the block. He's got about 45 pounds on Miller, the center, who just can't sustain him.
So the best surround sound in all of college football here at Autzen Stadium. Carter on the run. He's not going to get there. And now the question is, are you going to go?
You don't induce a lot of confidence with those last 2 plays. But if you're Jonathan Smith, you also know some of the limitations you have in the perimeter defensively against Dan Lanning. And when you cross midfield and you got 4th and 2, this is the right call on the road.
Fourth and 2.
Yeah, a little misalignment there. Nick Marsh was not getting on the line of scrimmage. Heads up play there by Aiden to call the timeout.
When we come back, 4th and 2, an early turning point for Michigan State.
Today, the department and athletic director Rob Mullins are recognizing the ongoing commitment of Weimar, Charles Jr., Country Financial, Bigfoot Beverages, McDonald's, OCCU, and the Pacific Northwest Toyota dealers. Thank you for your truly impactful partnership and continued patronage. And go Ducks!
Tonight's Stay in the Game sponsored by Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
You hate to play with a ball hog in hoops, but if you're Michigan State, you've got to control it. And a play like this and a possession like this eats up even more minutes. And for Oregon, fast and furious. But you saw the opening shot to Tez. They can flat out run, and this defense wants to play angry.
4th and 2. Play action. Childs loads it up. Downfield. Caught. Nick Marsh, the freshman, in a battle for 44 yards with Muhammad.
Wow. That is one heck of a catch. You're going to see the true freshman right here. Play action. They take away the flat 2 duck defenders there. And Muhammad, for one of the rare occasions this season, actually has somebody running by him, and it is a true freshman that then, through that distraction, through that contact, goes up and makes the biggest catch of his young life.
Freshman on a Detroit who they really missed in the BC game. Play action again. Childs wants to run for it, and he is diving for it. Let's see. Ball is loose. It's in the end zone. It is Oregon football. Oh, another Michigan State turnover, at least for now. Wow. Jordan Birch is on it.
And those 2 plays for a Michigan State fan at home watching this tonight are like, oh my gosh. That just sums up our season. The ball is clearly out. A gorgeous throw on 4th down. The right decision when nobody open to scramble, but then when you get around the pit in the pile in the big boys, you have to secure that football.
Jamari Caldwell again, who knocked it free.
On the field is that the runner's knee was down prior to the ball.
Whoa!
Second down.
Wow. So this will go to replay review. They've stopped it. It's going to be under replay review right now.
On the field of a fumble is on the field of review.
Wait a sec. Now I think the correct answer is the ruling on the field of a fumble. That's what they went with last. So the reason that's important is you have to overturn the call on the field. They're going to say it's a fumble because it is.
That knee is not even close. Gave a little hope out in East Lansing, only to be squashed that much more.
Mike Pereira's with us. Mike, what do you see tonight here?
Well, that's clearly out. I think the greater question is going to be the recovery player. Where is he when he recovers the ball in relationship to the goal line? Because if you control a loose ball and you take it into the end zone, your momentum takes you into the end zone, then that presents itself as a possibility of a spot at the 1-yard line. So the question is clearly not Lerner being down. The question is where are they going to put the ball when Oregon recovers.
When it comes to momentum, Mike, what are we looking for here?
You're just looking for the position of the ball for one thing, and there you see him lose it a couple different times, and so there's a lot to look at in this case, but you know, you're looking to see if he had possession of the ball in the field of play, and then his momentum, just his original momentum, took it in.
The runner fumbled the ball prior to his knee being down. The ball was recovered by the defense in the end zone, which results in a touchdown. It's 1st and 10, Oregon at the 20-yard line.
You're right on it, Mike. It was a touchback. It's another Michigan State turnover in the red zone, and you're right, Brock. This is their season in one drive.
Yes, but I love this right here in year 1. Jonathan Smith, who's played the position, who knows, yes, you can't avoid every mistake, but he's calm, he's composed, he's looking right in the eye of the transfer who came with them from Corvallis and said, just ball security. You can see him saying that when you get into those piles, you have to secure the football. It is the most valuable resource you have.
Defensive coordinator for Oregon said the ball is life in football, and they worked on it this week in creating those turnovers. It played there as Jordan James on the run, and a big dash for the first time this year in the run game for James. His longest run of the season, 41 yards.
Yeah, and he could give a big tip of the cap to Trayshawn Holden right there. Your job as a receiver is go block that nickel back and make the corner tackle, and you can't do it better than that. And in fact, Connerly gets onto that corner, so then it is a one-on-one. And how many times in the building did we hear yesterday, Jason, we have got to get that 20 plus?